Okay, good morning. All right, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Dutchess County IDA Finance and Audit Committee. Can you please take the roll call, Jasmine?
Mark Doyle.
Yeah.
Kathy Ball.
Here.
Jamie Bacone.
Here.
Okay, just want to note that Mark is on the meeting virtually, but we have quorum in the office. And we also have with us today from RBT CPA, Shannon Manisi. All right, the first thing, if we want to look over the minutes from the October 2nd Finance Committee meeting, or did everyone have a chance to look it over? Are there any corrections to be noted? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second that motion. Jasmine?
Mark Doyle. Jamie Bacone.
Approved.
Kathy Ball.
Approved. Okay, is there any old business, Sarah?
No old business.
All right, so we'll just dig right into the audit. Shannon, do you want to
Sure.
start off for us?
Okay, so page 1 is the auditor's report where the IDA did receive a clean opinion, which is the best opinion that you can get. And the rest of the opinion continues on page 2 and 3. Pages 4, 5 are management's discussion and analysis. So that's just a summary of the financials that we're going to go through. And then some currently known facts, decisions, and conditions, which really is just a summary of the meetings that you guys had during 2024. So if we go to page 6, this is your statements of net position. So I just want to talk about some numbers and some key changes. Cash was up 54,000 overall for the year. And you'll see between your accounts receivable current, right there for 575,000, and your long-term receivables, which are down a little more for 425,000. That is made up of your Arthur May, Belfield, and Marabou, and those are being paid over a few years. Your Cricket Valley escrow deposit went up slightly, and that's just based on the agreement that is with them. So overall, your total assets are $5,829,340, which is up from last year. If we look at your liabilities, you can see your accounts payable and accrued liabilities are down significantly, and that's mainly due to last year having booked $150,000 due to Arlington Central School District. So overall, your net position is $3,823,415. Again, you're up from last year. Strong financial position again. Nothing different than what's to be expected. If we look at page 7, that's your statements of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. You can see your administrative and closing fees are down from last year. And that's mainly due to just the projects that occurred between last year and this year. Last year you had Can-Am, Arthur May, T-Rex, and Belfield, and this year you have Marabou and Harlem Valley. Marabou was 370,000 and Harlem was 310,000. So overall, your revenue is down 955,000, but that's to be expected based on what projects are going on and approved. You can see your projects and professional service contracts are up 70,000, and that's mainly due to increasing the contract with the LDC for $50,000. So your operating income, so you're still at an income, is $31,070, and the IDA had interest income of $133,000, which is up $34,000 from last year. So again, that interest is really going strong. So overall increase in net position was $164,000. Any questions on either of those pages? Page 8 is just to show how you got from your beginning cash to your ending cash, and that's just based on the activities that we just went over. And then the following pages are your notes to the financial statement. Nothing has changed, no new notes. Note 3 is just a summary of the conduit debt, so it's a little over, well, we'll get into that detail. That's in the supplemental schedule, but it's 18 million, a little over, and it's down from 19 million last year. And on page 11, you'll just see the detail for the related party transactions. So it just summarizes the new $200,000 contract with the LDC and services between both entities. And you have some new GASBs, but none which will have an effect on the IDA. Then we get into the other information, which is the detail of that $18 million of conduit debt between Davies South and Marist. And then we go into the summary of all the different projects and the exemptions and employment data. But no major changes in anything for that. And most importantly, other than the opinion, would be pages 24 and 25, which is the opinion on your internal controls. And 26 shows that there were no internal control findings and no compliance findings. So overall, another strong year for the IDA. Any questions on any of that?
No,
No.
looks good.
It does.
Anything, Mark?
No, that sounds like an excellent report. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dan and Sarah.
Yes.
The only comment that I'm going to add is the recommendation by RBT for us to pass a cybersecurity breach policy. So that was a recommendation. It wasn't a,
It's not a finding.
it's not a finding. So at the March meeting, we'll present to the board the cybersecurity breach policy, which basically means what we will do in case there is a breach of private information and who we would alert. We do not collect the information that is stated in that law, which is basically social security, health information, things like that. But in the event that we may have something like that, we will follow New York State guidelines and recommendations on how to do that. So that's what the policy is basically. That we don't collect it, but in case if there's a leak, we will follow
Correct.
Right,
New York State
that
guidelines.
makes sense.
So
All right. Do I?
What's the other policy? That everyone always gets snagged on? Is that
The
the,
sexual harassment.
no, data loss, is it? We have that policy.
Disaster recovery.
Disaster recovery. Yeah, you guys did that a
We
few
have
years
that.
ago. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just making sure because another. board-
Yeah, again, there were no findings of policies that are
Right.
required that you guys do not have. It's just a recommendation for best practice. In case something were to ever come in, you'd be ready to act should something happen.
And then we did,
We will update that. Yep, but that's supplemental data
Right.
and that comes from the different projects. So
Yes.
for the next meeting, all of that information has been received, but we didn't want to present another draft than what was already in here. So to prevent confusion, we're presenting it with the highlights, but they will be corrected for the next meeting. And everything is finalized at this point with the numbers,
I think.
except for
we got-
one for here.
We got one new one this
One
morning.
new one. Okay.
So
All right.
I'll send you.
Yep, that's why I said we'll wait till after the meeting.
yeah.
All right, and is anyone willing to make a motion to present the final audit to the board at the next meeting?
I will make a motion to approve. Do we approve it or do we
No,
just
no,
make a
recommend.
motion?
Recommend.
We recommend to present the financials, the audited financials to the board at our next meeting next week.
All right, I will second that recommendation.
Okay. Mark Doyle?
I'll second that.
Well, no, taking a vote, Mark.
Yes, approved.
Kathy Bauer?
Approved.
James McCone?
Approved.
All right, and I will adjourn the meeting for the Dutchess County IDA Finance and Audit Committee.